We are sensing more and more of our connection with the source and with various planetary races and star nations. Some of us are also remembering our role that we had in the Earth's ancient times, and also the tribes we were involved in. There is that distant memory, and the term being spoken more and more of the bird tribe. Greetings. I am Diana or Lighthawk. I too feel a special connection with the bird people and also other winged beings such as the angelic beings, the earth angels, and the like. My previous videos on Consciousness Awakening Network were mostly directly or indirectly connected to the natural world, and I am continuing that with this video. Quite a bit of mysticism and mythology centers around birds. The qualities of birds often took on a supernatural significance. Sometimes they were even seen as deities. Their flight stirred the imagination, and there are a lot of tales of angelic contact, and they depict these beings with wings and bird-like characteristics. There are several circulating legends, folklore stories, and even research into, quote, the bird people. The topic also sparks a creative resonance with art, music, and literature. The most primordial sensing also comes to mind when thinking of the bird people or bird figures. Now, there is also a strong connection with the existence of the angelic beings or tribes that were often depicted with both etheric and physical wings. According to ancient texts, the angelic realm can represent not only different aspects of the divine, but also unity consciousness and enlightenment. Consciousness that does not experience separation. For the angels are depicted usually in human form, but with physical wings. They have come to people throughout the ages, whether face to face, in visions, or in dreams. They can be experienced as ambassadors of peace, truth, and light, anchors of the divine peace and light. According to ancient texts, there were actual angelic races that seeded a form on earth. These angel lines were connected to the seraphim, Oraphim, and Elohim. They were considered ambassadors and guardians of Terra. Our original DNA is angelic DNA. There are several teachings and channelings that expand on this further. Then they also worked in realms of the solar rishis. So there's quite a few of solar angelics too, besides on Earth. Now they were also sacred serpent dragon lines. that were connected to the seraphim. There is ancient knowledge, which is also becoming apparent in modern times, of dragons working with the seraphim and angel lines. The serpents were serpentine, some of the serpents were serpentine cosmic mother dragons, and they had really a lot of abilities to go through different dimensions and layers. They are strongly related to the regeneration of the land, particularly. Now, also, the serpent lines were, besides bird-like, some of them were aquatic, such as the hydras, nagas, and merpeople. The ancient temples were often guarded by the naga. Now, the avian and snake beings were actually of the same genetics, but there are many step-down forms again, and they are connected also to the seraphim, Elohim, and Oraphim. Now, eventually, with the wars, catastrophes, some of the dragons retreated underground along with some of the ancient civilizations and people and tribes. And also some dragons ended up in lakes, and some even off planet. There were also galactic avian races and race lines connected at the beginning to the Lyra system, for one example, and also the constellation of Cygnus. Now, there's many caves throughout the world that show the constellation of Cygnus. There are actual star nations that have more definite bird-like physical features, and even some have physical wings. Now, quite a few of these races were seen and experienced by the ancient civilizations and tribes. In ancient Egypt, there were several gods and goddesses that were either depicted with wings or bird-like heads. Also, there are various depictions of the soul, which was symbolized in a bird figure such as Ba. Now, Ba represents soul or mobile spirit. It has, the body of a bird with a human head. The personality and character is still maintained with it as it travels through the underworld and then back again to the tomb to reunite with the body and then hopefully merge with Ka, or spirit self, to go onward. Now, Isis had a human face, but also a human face and body, but she also had wings, or she was represented with rings. And she symbolized rebirth, motherhood, and fertility, at least. Now, her son Horus was represented with a falcon head, but human body. He was portrayed and seen with really incredible eyesight and having great vision, like a bird. His right eye was of the morning sun, and his left of the moon, both with much divine power. and also power and abilities of healing. Now, he was exemplified as the Lord of the sky. And a warrior part of him was able to defeat the evil Set. He was so powerful and liked that he was able to unite Lower and Upper Egypt. The Egyptian hieroglyphs were also known as, quote, bird language. Some of the ancient tribes actually experienced and witnessed the angelic beings along with various kinds of creatures that were also like hybrids, part bird, part another type of being. Some of these were from late Lemuria time, but mostly at the Atlantean era, when there were all kinds of genetic manipulations along with genetic experiments, unfortunately done by certain alien races and races on Earth. Also, the indigenous tribes have experienced beings from other star nations that may or may not be depicted as bird-like. With the Hopi star nation, Kachinas some of them look like star beings, but also bird-like. Other tribes perform various sacred dances using a lot of bird feathers. And they all have different meanings for these sacred dances. The thunderbird is also prevalent in the Northwest tribes. Now, the thunderbird lived in the clouds above the highest mountain, and it symbolized the upper world. Eagles were symbolized as messengers of the sun. There is even a bird tribe prophecy. Now, in certain civilizations, birds were used in not only prophecy, but divination. So birds are a bridge to new creativity and dimensions. Now, and working with bird medicine can result with lightness of spirit. Shamanically, all birds have power with them, and they are governed by instinct and reflex, which can relate to us believing in our gut instinct and getting things done, especially at certain times. Now, the hawk represents focused light precision, which is greatly linked to the ancestors. The dove represents beauty and peace and is connected with the angelic realm and the divine feminine. The raven relates to navigating higher dimensions, clear visions, and shape-shifting. The beautiful phoenix is represented as resurrecting, or symbolizes resurrecting and rising from the ashes, and it's also connected to the cosmic Christed energies. If you would like to delve into shamanic journeying more, you can contact me at lightdimensions@gmail.com. Now, several are saying that the bird code really came in on the line of 2017, the year of Phoenix rising. So it's coming in again. Now, this reminds us to allow transformation to take place. And in addition, previously trapped humans with their emotions and physical attachments are becoming more and more aware to take flight. So in the near future, many more will become clairvoyant and clairaudient, and will receive even more downloads. And some may even feel like they are developing etheric wings and are able to live the greatest aspect of themselves, living in the higher heart. And also remember that birds represent connection between heaven and earth and self-mastery. So the question is, how much do we develop ourselves and our soul? And how do we relate to Mother Earth while we are here? So we are all guardians of Earth and dimensions who can grow our wings and fly with the strength and power of our light. We must all work together, have bravery and courage, relying on our empathic senses and trusting our intuition. For we are the ground crew who can actualize the divine template, restore the crystalline grids, and bring heaven to earth. For we have been here from the beginning of the dawn, in many civilizations, through various sagas, in many worlds, both seen and unseen, able to still gather the light with the power of the source within us, to peacefully glide through this world and then to soar to the great sun and beyond.